Hello and welcome back, my friends, to another episode here on Canvas and Craft. In this week's episode, we are going to be borrowing a phrase from another YouTuber that I watch. I believe his channel is called The Mind of Watercolor, and he said something about practicing on little, as he quote unquote puts it, art snacks. And I thought that was a really neat idea of calling it art snacks. So today we're gonna be like snacking on some trees. And so I just wanted to say that I borrowed the phrase of art snacks from The Mind of Watercolor. I love his art style. I did try to do it, but I'm not real good with abstract. My mind doesn't quite work that way. I mean, I can pick out shapes and everything, but I'm not real good with the abstract. But anyways, enough of my blabber. Let's get into the video. Yay! Painting fun. Oh, I also want to clarify, in my last video I said that I was going to use the trading cards for my business and put like my business name on the back of it. And I was going to fix that, or at least explain that, and I don't think I did. So I'm going to do that now. I was going to make an art business or start an art business. I've been thinking about making a business for the longest time. I have no idea I have ideas how to do it, but everybody wants money. And when you're a starving artist like I am, it's very, very difficult to start a business when you're not making any money for your business. And I can't see the reason for starting a business and putting money into something that they want monthly payments when I'm not getting monthly payments. So I was thinking of putting on the back of the trading cards, I was thinking about putting the YouTube on there. So I look at this as kind of like the business aspect of it, because I don't have a business. I'm just playing with the YouTube and the recording because I find it fun. I'm not a big fan of the editing, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of like, I've tried to split it up now for 2 days worth of editing, because if I try to do it all in one day, I get so frustrated because I'm sitting still. And I don't like sitting still, and I don't feel like I'm doing anything that I want to do, because I know there's other things that I'm studying too, and it just drives me nuts because I don't like to sit still, and it's just it's not fun work. Let me just put it that way. Okay, the tree snacks that we are going to be trying out are some interesting shorts or videos that inspired me to try different ways of painting, like focal point is what I was thinking, focal point trees, or just trees in general, because I, at the time of filming this, didn't actually know how to do that in watercolor because I haven't touched paints in a very long time. So that's what we're going to be practicing. So I will leave all of the links down below if you'd like to see how they did it, to see if you can recreate it or recreate what I've done in the video. Okay, this first tree that I started out, it wasn't really working for me the way this person, I can't remember if it was a he or a she, I don't remember, but I couldn't actually get it to work the way they did, because they used a lot of water, and my quote unquote art studio or art desk, or whatever you'd like to call it, it's not a studio, it's a room, my art room, quote unquote art room, craft room, is so incredibly dry. Like I would mix up my paint and then start painting it carefully, to do whatever I gotta do. And by the time I go back to my palette, which I don't even know how long it takes, is my palette is already dry. So I'm saying it's like the water is just evaporating out of my space. So yeah, I had a very hard time because he used like a lot of water, I believe, and then just kind of let the watercolors flow. And I tried to do that the way they showed in the video, but like I said, everything just dries out so fast. I do have a desk humidifier now, so hopefully that will help because this place is so dry. It's like this Sahara desert or something in here. It's crazy. Moving on. All right, we're a little bit on the cray side today. Plop, 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 plop. Where are we at my notes? Okay, there it is. This tree video, she said to basically take like a water with some like a spritz bottle. One that doesn't give you like an even mist seems to work the best. Now I have 3 different kinds of spritzy bottles because they're all like different and they're very, very cheap, guys. You can get them from like the Dollar Tree for $1.25 plus tax. Thank you very much. So you can get them very cheap. They're just like the little travel ones, and spritz your watercolor paper. Actually, first off, which I always forget, first off, mix your paints that you're going to use. And then once you've got that set aside and you've got your paints all mixed and watery and juicy and however you like them, you can take your spritzer bottle and spritz your watercolor paper. And then you just start painting. You start with a line and then you just make like little woozy whatsits to make the evergreen or the pine tree. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is. I'm sorry. I'm not a tree, aficionado, whatever you want to call it. I don't know tree names of trees or what the difference between pine and evergreen is. Don't slaughter me in the comment section. I'm not a tree person. I love trees, but I don't know proper names. Thanks, okay? But yeah, this was really fun, and I absolutely loved this. And I'm going off topic again for 20 minutes straight. Oh my god. I need to like slow it down. Sorry guys, I'm like really, really like hyper right now. I just got back from the store and I walked there and the birds were singing and it just lifts my heart so much when I hear the birdies. Oh my god, and the wind was blowing. It was so beautiful. I'm so energized today and I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and contain myself and try to be a little bit more adulty here. I'm an adult, I swear. No, I'm not. I don't want to be an adult. Adulting is hard. I want to be a child and love my life. Anyways, that's so like too much coffee. Not enough coffee. Okay, let's try to dial this down a couple of notches now because we need to get this done. No clapping in front of the microphone. Okay. Oh my god, it's so much fun just being me, you know? I mean, it's so amazing. I just wanna be me. I wanna be the weird one that I know. Okay, what am I doing? I know I'm a weird one and I wanna be free to be me. Oh my god, if I start singing in this thing, people are really not gonna watch my videos. I was basically just trying a bunch of different ideas because I tried to absorb as much information as I can to learn what I can and bring you all along with me of what I've learned. And I'm not a very good teacher. I'm just kind of trying to bounce ideas off when I'm painting of things that I have watched on YouTube and I've seen tutorials for, and I've looked up tutorials and read things, and I'm a consumer. I'm a consumer of information here, and I try to absorb what I learn and then try to reflect that into my paintings. Okay, be normal for once, will you? Abby. Okay, thank you. Alright. Okay. And I also tried I wanted to put these little blooms, I believe that they're called, where the water pushes away the watercolor, because that's what it does. And I did this on purpose because when I think it was either her or one of the other YouTubers that I watched, they did that on purpose because it automatically just kind of like spider webs out or whatever. And I kind of wanted it to look like bushes in the front, and I wanted that kind of effect. So I did do that on purpose, as you'll see here, and I kind of tried to force it a little bit by doing a little bit of scrubbing and sweeping, I guess you want to say. Oh my god, we can sweep everything, including our house and our paintings. Yes, I was sweeping the colors after scrubbing it, and I was like, go that way, I want you to spider out and form bushes and have a little abstract thing. I don't know if it really works or not. I could probably go in with a little bit more detail, but I was just having a play and I wasn't really concerned about the bushes. I was more worried about the trees because these were tree snacks. Yeah, I was trying to do that. Okay, this next tree I tried to make it was amazingly fun to do these circles, basically where you want it. You put your tree trunk basically and then do the circles and then wet the circles and bloop your little colors on there. That part was really fun, but again, he put I think it was a he or she, I'm not entirely sure, a lot of water and just kind of let the colors mix and mingle with the little mixer there on the paper. And then he pulled out, or they pulled out the colors, and I couldn't get that to work for me because I don't know if it's the paper or the space that I'm using to do my painting in is very, very dry. So I would need a river. Let go the river. No, a river of water on there. And then when you have a river of water on there, it takes a lot longer to dry. And it's very hard because if you wiggle the table or anything like that, it's just gonna spill out and attempt to go out. So it was very difficult, but in the end I did get a tree out of it, so that's the ultimate point. So that ultimately is the dealio. So that's what I did. So I did make a tree out of it, but that technique didn't really work for me. what this is when you do your painting, which is really a neat idea. I was like, oh, I never tried this idea before, but here it is. If I could get my Cricut machine to work, because I have to tear it apart and fix it, I could make my own stencils and then add that into the work, which I really, really want to do, but I really, really don't want to tear apart my Cricut machine. But I may have to, unless of course I can say, hey sis, make me up some stencils in this thing in some different sizes. But I do have to get that done. I have to fix my Cricut machine. Basically what you do is you put down your first layer of paint. Now I found that it does work when the layer of paint is a bit thicker or a bit darker, but you put down your layer of paint, you let it dry completely, 100% dry. And then you put the stencil down, and if you use a stiff stenciling kind of brush with like hog's hair kind of brush, and you basically just scrub, don't do it on a project that you're 100% in love with. Do it on the same kind of materials for watercolor paper and everything, and test it out first with the same like scrap piece, because I don't want anybody to rip up the paper. But basically you put the stencil down and you scrub off the paint, dab it up with a dry paper towel, pick up the paint after you're done scrubbing, and then you pick up the stencil, and there you go. You have whatever you were trying to scrub off. And this video here, another person said, do your abstract treetops and then use the backside of your brush to pull out from the pool of water on your watercolor paper. So that's what I was doing here. I was doing like a miniature one because it was basically the same thing for the tops of the trees. And I just like turned the brush around and tried to pull out, which I was amazed, but like, okay, yeah, that works. But you pull out the water and you construct your tree limb. And she said you could do the same thing. I believe it was a woman. Again, don't quote me if it's a man or a woman. You do the same thing if you make splats on your paper and you don't like them. You could make, or you just do it on purpose. You just put a splat and then just pull out, and you can pull out a bird. You just pull upwards instead of downwards. I have anxiety, and now I have anxiety every time my goofball comes out. And I'm actually, I try to be a very happy-go-lucky person, and I try to make other people laugh. And I have so much anxiety about everything that I do. Oh my God. Like, it's ridiculous. So I'm trying not to be so boring, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't tell you guys that, but yeah, I have like severe anxiety, and yeah, I don't want it. I don't want this to be my pain type of video, but here we are. Let's move on. I really do need to get a lot more confidence in myself because I have zero confidence in everything I do, and that's just because of the life that I have lived. I have zero confidence in my skills. And that's not a good thing to do, but here we are anyways. So I have no confidence in myself to do anything, but we're getting there. We're getting closer. I actually started YouTube. I'm talking to y'all. I'm trying to bring out that goofball so you guys can be entertained while I'm doing this. And I'm trying really really hard, but it's not easy for me. But I'm working on it. Everybody, thank you so much for being patient with me. I know you guys probably are bored with the way I do this, but I am working on it. I do have anxiety, and I just said it. I don't want to say it again because I have a tendency of not feeling like I'm being heard. So I have a tendency to repeat myself. So hopefully I'm not doing that too much in this video, which I know that I am. Last and final tree image, we're going to attempt to do some pine trees. But the lady that was in this video, she did it with fog. Like it was supposed to be like a foggy morning. Sun hasn't quite come up yet to, like, as they say, burn off the fog. So it was still foggy or whatever. So it was supposed to be like a tree setting with evergreens and pine trees, and there was fog around. here what we do is we start off with a really light, mostly water consistency. The way back, the trees that are furthest from you are the lightest ones. And then as you build your scene coming towards the front or the foreground where you want your eye to be closest so you can see the details, you want that to be dark. And you build your tree starting off on dry paper, and then you wet it down to where you want it to fade with just regular water. So you could do it either way. You could build to a certain point where you want it to be kind of crispy, and then Krispy Kremes. Oh, Rice Krispie. No, where you want it to be crispy, and then you put water down and just kind of like, okay, I want it to fade here, and you put like a big, just a swoosh of water where you want it to start fading and what direction you want it to fade. So then you do your top part, which is in the dry part. Once you start hitting the water, it starts fading out, and that's what creates the spot. I hope I didn't bore you all with my little tree studies. I have so many things I'm studying right now. My head hurts. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's video. I am so happy that you came to watch the video to see what kind of shenanigans I was up to. But thank you all for joining me. I hope you join me again next week here on Canvas and Craft. And if I haven't said it before, hi, my name is Lynn. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully I didn't scare you off with my goofiness and my ramblings. It's been a day, but thank you all for being here. And I hope to see you again here next week here on Canvas and Craft. Okay, bye. Have a great weekend. Get outside, get some sunshine. Okay. All right, guys. Until next week. Bye. Thanks for coming.